I'm here to check that.
Yeah, brother.
This man tell me.
I am aware that the People's Progressive Party does not want me as a leader.
Here.
The FBI is doing your investigation. Some aspect is coming back.
Wealth is not trickling down to the people of Guyana.
There will be additional questioning that is required. And that's of course, I don't get involved in that.
Order it, Critic.
Yeah, brother.
It is important for Venezuela to understand that Guyana will not be bullied, threatened, or intimidated.
Hello, good morning.
Order it, Critic.
Here.
I'm here to check that.
Yeah, brother.
This man tell me.
I am aware that the People's Progressive Party does not want me as a leader.
Here.
The FBI is doing your investigation. Some aspect is coming back.
Wealth is not trickling down to the people of Guyana.
There will be additional questioning that is required. And that's of course, I don't get involved in that.
Order it, Critic.
Yeah, brother.
It is important for Venezuela to understand that Guyana will not be bullied, threatened, or intimidated.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, guys. A great morning to all of those who tune into the realest thing in the world, coming to you from Guyana. You know what I realized this morning? Too many times I have not paid enough time and attention into educating you guys. Right? And this morning is dedicated to educating you guys about things that are very important. It's ever present, but people know it's in your life. You're walking on it, you're talking on it, you're looking at it. Now, the first thing I want to make you aware of, Wendy Joseph, good morning. Nikita, good morning. Leela, good morning. Rena, good morning. A great morning to all who are tuned in. And welcome to the others. So let me firstly explain the difference between the internet and social media. I started writing an article yesterday, and I stopped because I said they can't read, they don't read. They don't like to read. Most people can read, but they don't like to read. If you write something, they don't realize that once you read it, it is basically inscribed on your brain. Our discussion this morning is there a line between reality and social media? What is reality? Your home, your street, the rivers, tangible things that you can touch. It seems that we're taken aback or away from reality because social media gives us so much access. How can you see China from here? How can you hear me from America? In reality, you'd have to get on a plane and fly 5 hours from Miami, just under 5 hours from New York, to get to speak to me. Now we can communicate. I can speak to you in a video format on a social media platform, and you can refer to me or reply to me in the comments. This happens all under 60 seconds. The relay time, I must tell you if you did not know, between when I say something at 126 Luluni Street, Queenstown, in TBN Studios, and the time that you receive the information is almost instantaneous. It is about 30 seconds. That time between the dissemination of the information and when the information is received by you is called lag. It's a time behind. Where we begin this morning is the fact that the internet and social media are not one and the same. Right? Hello, good morning. If people call, think they can disrupt, just so you know, once you call and you don't get, even if it's accidental, you're blocked automatically. So just to make sure you understand, I don't think I have done this enough to educate people. And when it comes to social media and the internet, and how social media is effective on the internet, no questions could be asked whether I am one of the first and foremost experts in Guyana on it. No questions asked. Bear in mind, they have many other people who are tech savvy. Then there are many other people who have been successful on the internet. Understanding the internet, I can tell you, me being here, me being successful at what I do, is not because of the content I create alone. The content was fashioned to suit social media platforms that is on the internet that I put a lot of time and study into in understanding how it works, how it coexists. $10 now I'm the Guyanese Critic. I've been on the internet before, but 10 years now as the Guyanese Critic. So, what's the difference between social media and the internet? And yesterday I started writing, and let me give you a bit of what my writings were. How do rules of engagement in real life and social media differ or vary? Or are they the same? This was a question. The question was, intended to ignite thought, because you might not believe how many people are educated in reality and ignorant to social media. So ignorance is the lacking of knowledge. You could be ignorant in a certain area, right? Ignorant doesn't have to be, when using the word ignorance, doesn't have to be in its totality. You are ignorant in your totality and completely ignorant. You're ignorant to certain facts, unaware, did not know. Hence my question to ignite thought: how do rules of engagement in real life and social media differ or vary, or are they the same? Since the advent of the internet, the world, communication, dissemination of information, news, human interaction, and a number of other human social interaction related methods have changed drastically. Before the advent of the internet and social media, again, I'm telling you, they're not one and the same. So let me break it down for you. The internet as you know it is a network that uses certain protocols, basically two protocols. Right? A method of protocols, basically two protocols that communicate between computers. This is a computer. If you check your phone, it's listed as the device. Right? So the internet would be like the pipeline. And there's a source, and there's the tap in your house. There's the internet. The internet would be like your electricity supply. There is GPL, and you know how GPL works. GPL takes, like the substation, takes current from Garden of Eden, it takes current from Kingston. They come together at the substation at South, by the roundabout there, and it disseminates that electricity from there. It is a mode of transportation like the roads. The road network leads from Queenstown to Albertown to Charlestown to Kitty. It is a network that allows things to move on. The thing that moves on this network is an internet protocol. In simple terms, a set of zeros and ones, sending messages across. It's a protocol. On that network, now have multiple social media platforms. So the internet by itself, you can't walk on it. You basically can't see where it is. It is in, around, and everywhere now. It is in and around us, yes. Because a lot of the internet protocols are not run on fixed, tangible lines or cables. They're run wirelessly. So the internet protocol now, or the internet, has been taken and it's gone from running on a cable through from GT&T to you to the internet access that I have is wireless. I don't know exactly where it come through and reach me food. If it come from this angle, if it come from northeast, southeast, southwest, northwest, I don't know if it come from the bottom. Well, to some extent, if you research wireless transmission, you have an idea of how it pulses, how it works. But for all intent and educational purposes, we say it dial around. It dial around here. You understand? It's feeling, it touching this phone, it touching the phone, it touching everything. We could collect information and disseminate information. So that is the internet. Social media. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, brother.
This Critic.
Yes, sir. How can I be of help to you?
Yeah, we currently concerning the water in diamond. We get no water in diamond, but long as well.
Consider it to be highlighted. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning. Once everybody here, that is how social media platforms on the internet work. Recalling concerning the water and diamond, consider it highlighted. Everybody heard. Right? So, internet is the network of networks. Millions of networks integrated and working together to keep social media platforms connected. So consider if you were to take all the pipelines, all the electricity lines, all the roadways, all the riverways used in the air. You were to take all the network, the breeze that birds fly on, the wind that they use beneath their wings. I'm simplifying it for the ignorant. Yes, the wind beneath the bird's wings. That too is being used for internet protocols. And people are like, how the wind between the bird wing? Well, if you got any other way of explaining how you getting wireless connection, if birds had a computer, they would have gotten it. I'm suggesting to you, it is everywhere. Now then, there's the internet, is the network, is the roads, is everything. Then we come to social media platforms that use the internet to get the information out there. So there's a network. And I come, and what I do, I create a network. And that network comes on the social media platforms. You gotta give something a name. Everything has to get a name. Do you know where the name of things that are discovered come from? I could tell you they were not. The names that things in the world have today didn't come from the Bible or any great book. Most of the things that men have discovered, they were given names by men. We discover something and we name it. Likewise, the internet and social media. It sounds interesting because we've called it a zillion, gazillion, billion times. And we know it as nothing else. And the name shit was already used up, so we didn't use shit. We used social media. Shit was already shit. That name was taken. So you got the internet, we got social media platforms. What are social media platforms? Social media platforms, by the way, access to the internet is basically a human right now. Yes. That is why governments around the world are rushing to make sure everybody, it's a basic human right. It is so integral. The internet has been seen or realized to be so integral to life's, modern life existence, that it's a human right. It has been given that level of precedence as a human, basic human right. Access to the internet. If you didn't know, now you know. Now, social media platforms. There's Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok. Some of the basics. Facebook was created by one Mark Zuckerberg. He was a college student at the time. And he created this platform to afford people the opportunity to communicate. One of the first social media platforms that has been very resilient and has survived the growing, fast-growing community on the internet. Why am I telling you all of this? I'm breaking down the two things that you play a part, you have playing a part in your life. Each and every one of you, most of you, 90% of you. My mom, who doesn't know about social media, gets on to me on a social media platform, WhatsApp. She's looking at what I do on TikTok and all of these things. She's in her 70s. Social media is integrated or affects us in some way, shape, or form. Everyone. How does it affect you? Have you put much thought into the realities of social media? And you know why we're having this discussion? Recently, Lolita calendar was shot. Recently, Brian Max and myself had a confrontation in here. September 11th, that election was held. Yesterday, I went to court 2 times, 2 cases, one with Muhammad and one with Brian Max. Now, I want you to look at these different instances of things that happened in my life and tell me when and where social media and the internet has not played a role in it. And the discussion this morning, if you're smart or you're not educated, you don't need to be here. If you're a hungry belly and a low life or a scrape head, this might be ideal for you, but we're not begging you to be here. Those are some of the opportunities afforded by social media platforms. Social media platforms are independent, platforms that are dependent on the internet, not independent of the internet. They're independent platforms that are dependent on the internet. But the internet and social media are not one and the same. Now let's get down to brass tacks and what the discussion. Let me finish up on social media. So there are multiple social media platforms. Facebook, WhatsApp thing, you dip on it directly. And they got different communication methods. They attract people differently. TikTok allow you to do all kind of madness. Facebook, they're on a whole different level. X is more sophisticated. LinkedIn is specific to intellectuals. And so it goes. You got social media platforms for dating. You got social media platforms if you want to show your coochie and get some money for it. You want to be an internet whore, you can do that. Nonetheless, you are a whore. It's been legitimized, but you're an internet whore. Don't confuse it. That is the discussion we're having this morning. Only fans girls think they're not whores. No, you're an internet whore. A whore nonetheless. People use filters and they just show their head and take the picture, put it on it. You're still fat. You're obese. You're still fat. People come on there and you don't get the smell. It is not developed as yet. Soon to be, because if you can get a device and the device could pick up your smell and transmit the smell through the phone, I tell you, the communication network would be really different. If people could get people's mouth smell, you understand? And the armpit smell while you're talking to them, you get the smell, you're like the person is there, it would be a whole different thing by the internet. Not people would never be the internet. So then people are taking out with a filter, just show your head, you still fat. You still are gonna die on time, don't worry. Yes. Obesity kills. Right? Even if you slow down and you read from a script or you're looking at a teleprompter, that the internet and social media doesn't change the fact that you're stupid. What it does, it is enhance your stupidity because you are still stupid. You might be able to maneuver around me being aware that you're stupid. If you stay quiet, if you're stupid and stay quiet, and you don't come and make comments, I don't know that you're stupid. I don't even know that you're there. You're just watching on. But once you open your mouth, say something, make a video, or put something in a comment, I know you're stupid. Or you're smart. Whichever one. So social media platforms are about interaction. Different methods of interaction. Right? So social media platforms are like your car. You jump in your car, you drive on the road. You jump in your boat, you understand? They're like boats and cars. They're modes of transportation. The internet, the network of networks and protocols that are considered to be the internet is the roadways. Your car, your bus, you understand? They got WhatsApp more like a car because it's interpersonal. Although groups of people are still on there. Right? And Facebook, like a bus. Everybody there in. Hey! It's like a carnival bus. You understand? TikTok, like a cruise liner. All the sufferers who want to get a cheap vacation, want to eat free food. You understand? And don't get belly walk easy because they is eat all kind of shit. Cruise liner, woo! TikTok. Facebook is like a big hotel, like a Marriott. Not sandals and thing, but it's more like a Marriott. In between service for a certain class of people, right? So if you didn't know, now you know. Now let's get down to the brass tacks of reality and social media. So we talk about the internet. We talk about social media platforms. The internet really irrelevant to you who are on social media and retarded. Most of you are retarded. If you ask you to do something, if you ask you to read in and understand what are the rule regulations of Facebook, you don't know what you can say, what you can't say, how Facebook works. So Facebook is a website. And the modern Facebook runs basically on algorithms. So when I come on this program and people start liking me program and talking and things, the algorithm recognizes that this is interesting, people would be interested in it, and they start giving people, yo, look at this. Tell me what you think about Critic. And you put another finger, you put another thumb. Some people dislike. Some people start making comments. Good morning, Critic. Good morning. A good great morning to you. And the algorithm recognizes that there's nobody there sitting and, oh, Critic is on. Share Critic. Critic is my grandson. Share him with everybody. No, your grandmother's not behind there. She's dumb as fudge. She don't know nothing what's going on. She don't realize when she come on the internet and post up her picture and post that she's alone and she posting hymns that Rajesh from Uzbekistan watching a chief Arab she pension money. She don't know that. He be scouring all over looking for old stupid women. You understand? And say, put in your credit card number, put in your social security number, we got thing. You understand? And Ufukufu from Nigeria is also looking. Ufukufu and Rajesh from Uzbekistan. Right? So it's not a racial thing. It's just that in Nigeria and India and Uzbekistan, and so there's a speciality for them on the internet. Rob old people. That's one of their specialities. Because India is a beautiful, big country with 1.4 billion people, the largest democracy in the world. So if you have 10 million people doing that, it's massive. You understand? If you had 150 million people robbing people, it's half a US population. US is just 300 and something million. And if Trump said 55 million of them, they with visa, that means the US population is not 300 million. Brazil is 217 million people. Right? So India could branch out and invade whole continents. Because we's a million people. Suriname is 600 something thousand. Brazil is 217 million. Venezuela is 29 to 31 million. Colombia, Belize, Chile, you add up a couple millions. India could dispense, when we reach 400 million in South America. India, on the Asian continent, India, the country of India, the 1.4 billion people. Now I'm trying to put reality into context for you. To get to understand, and I don't think I do enough to educate you people, I apologize. Because sometimes I am incapable of fathoming how ignorant you people are. Yes, you out there. It's confusing because you know so much. You come and immediately you're able to comment. Have you ever asked yourself, how does that work? How does, when you type, it gets to me here? Have you ever paid mind and attention to understanding how social media platform works? Do you know what's coding? Have you ever heard the word coding? Do you know what is the basis for anything on the internet being transmitted? You don't gotta be an IT genius, but if somebody come and say, let me push this thing in your body, you will just bend over. If somebody comes and wants to push something into your anus, I have this nicely. So I have this. Let me just put it into your rectum. Would you just bend over just like that? Then why are we just and somebody gives you something, you have it, you don't know, you're giving in information into Facebook, it's asking you for name, for this, and you didn't read the fine print? Do you know what it does with the information when you give it? It asks you for a password. When you out here, but in the real life, you secure. Nobody don't ask you where you're going except you're working in a secure building. In your house, you secure. You gone, put a thing on the phone, and it asks you for password and all this information that you ain't realize it's serious. When it started asking for password and personal things about yourself, you didn't realize it was serious. Then we step into reality. We step into reality. Let me tell you the reality of social media. And if there's a line between them, if it does exist. Let me tell you. So I first must give you structure before I give my theory and opinion. It is up to you whether you want to take it or leave it. Right? I'll give you some scenarios. Lolita calendar Lola Dahl rose to fame on social media. Isn't that so? How do you know her? You met her in person? Have you ever went to one of her shows? How do you know her? She rose to fame because of a social media platform or multiple social media platforms. What she failed to realize when she rose to fame, that social media and reality are one and the same. Not because people in there running around with guns from Facebook ain't got guns. The world still ain't got guns. I rose to fame on social media. Have you heard about all the lawsuits that I have received in the high courts of Guyana? Have you heard about the $5 billion in lawsuits that I'm fighting in the courts right now? Social media and reality are one and the same. What it has done, and nobody pays attention to, if before the advent of social media, you have as a public figure, there was no social media when Walter Rodney existed. Walter Rodney, yes, he had to talk with a bullhorn or a mic at crowds at the corner. He had to write articles that came out in the papers the next day. And the PNC still murdered him because he had an impact on their life. He had an impact on Guyana's politics. There was no social media then. The internet was in its infant stages. Yes, the internet existed, but it was in its infant stages. And Walter Rodney was murdered. Father Dart was murdered by PNC operatives. Why? He was in the midst of things. He took information, wrote articles. Those information got out, would have had a negative effect on the PNC. He would have been having a negative effect on them before. That's a reality. They killed him. Why do you think you could come and do something on social media and not have the effects in reality? What is because you're not seeing the person and talk to them because you're on the phone. One has to ask oneself, is the person on the other end, the receiving end of the phone, are they still hurt? When I say something here, am I still impactful? If I say something to your face that angers you and I say it on social media, are you less angry? Much people don't pay attention to the fact that there's no difference between reality and the metaverse that you have placed yourself in called social media. There are no blurred lines, there are no lines. Case in point, Brian Max and myself, I'm live here on social media with O.C. Rogers. Brian Max is live on his program and he came to my place of business. He's saying things. I became angered by what he said. I responded. He walked out of social media into reality. Where did Brian Max cross the line? Do you know? Do you think I felt threatened here, or I felt threatened when Brian Max said he had a left hook on social media on the phone? Where do you think I felt more threatened? Do you think I was cautious and prepared? Do you think I'm cautious and prepared now? Do you think I'm cognizant or worried about what I say? No. I went to 2 court cases yesterday. 2 court cases. Now, you tell me in God's name, which university campus have you ever seen me give a speech on? Tell me in God's name, which corner have you ever seen me give a speech on? Something to learn and note. There's no difference between reality and social media. And the reason I came up with this point today is some people are engrossed in the comments. You want me to tell you something? If you're walking down the road and see a man in ski mask, don't know who behind the ski mask, would you stop and have a serious conversation with the person? The first thing you come thinking like this person a thief, man, he come to rob me. If you see a man walking in a ski mask at the bank, so the first thing you have to do, let me educate you. For the internet illiterate, the social media illiterates, if you see somebody make a comment about you and you go put their profile and their profile lack, they're not a real person. How can you allow, like in reality, if you would not have a serious conversation, if you're walking on the road and you saw something without a head, are you waiting to talk to that person? Would you stop to speak to a torso with arms and legs moving without a head? Would you stop to talk to that person? So why do you do it on the internet? And this is where people are confused between reality and social media platforms. They're one and the same. What you have not paid attention to and don't realize, you are actually in a faster method of reality. Because before, Rhonda Bob yesterday came on and said somebody sent a letter is shit. That takes 4 days, a letter in America, maybe a day, 2 days for reach. It takes some time, the person has shit put inside the letter. Write wherever they got write. Post it, carry the letter to the post office and post it. To post shit to her. I could say, when Rhonda Bob opens, she get a feeling, she get the smell of shit. I could say things here that will affect her the same way it makes you feel like she smells shit, a letter open. And it happens instantaneously. Nobody pays attention to that. Let me give you a next thing. If you're an influencer, if you're a social media influencer, if you're somebody who using social media as a platform to disseminate information or you make your money on, let me tell you something that you might not have known. If you go to somebody's profile and you see they've gone out of their way to stay out of social media and you pull them in, yeah. It's just like when you're up on the road and you see quiet people that say, you understand, easy snake a bite hat. You gotta be careful. Why would you think that social media is not the utmost reality, or the internet use of social media is not the utmost reality? Why do you think you could get away? Do you think the people who supported Muhammad and took out pictures with him, they're gonna have an easy life for the next 5 years? Did you think that people are just going to forget? When that thing pop up every year, people remember you, the day with Muhammad. Do you know how Muhammad came to notoriety? Muhammad, Azadin Muhammad, is one of the dumbest persons you could ever meet. This is a matter of fact. You know how he come to notoriety? You know how he is opposition leader today? Social media money. Azadin Muhammad is one of the dumbest persons you could meet. The one attribute he has in his life, good with numbers. Good with numbers, as the father said. One of the dumbest people you could meet has now become opposition leader, just about to become opposition leader. You know why? What do you think? Some educational background he has that he's been able to maneuver. No. Money and social media. He figured out that you manipulate, bring in all the influencers, bring attention to yourself. And I must say I played a part in enlightening him as how it works. I have $5 billion in lawsuits that I'm facing off against. You ever see me say anything other than on social media that has an effect on me? 8 million judgment against me for Simona Brooms. Where did I have that discussion? The courts of this country have found that things that I said on social media are such egregious towards Simona Brooms that they will give her $8 million for the hurt. How much hurt do you think you could hurt somebody for they get $8 million? Yes, it is measurable. The impacts on social media and reality are one and the same. It is just that what happened on social media happens faster. And case in point is Mikhail Rodriguez versus Brian Max. It was on social media. And then it came into reality. But there was no lines. Brian Max didn't realize that there were no lines. The only thing saving y'all with the stupidness y'all is doing and talking is that people can't reach and catch y'all. So if Walter Rodney had enemies when he was just with a bullhorn on a corner gathering people and it was word to mouth, what do you think? Walter Rodney, I don't think Walter Rodney ever had a crowd of 1,000 people. I just get 1,000 people, at least 1,000 people watching me live. Hundreds of thousands accumulated on a daily basis. We you that? I got more enemies by far than Walter Rodney. I got more people that want to kill me by far than Walter Rodney. Walter Rodney did not take it serious. And certain things you can't save. Certain things you can't save, certain things you can't stop. You just have to be aware. And what happened with more Guyanese need to be aware that social media is not a safe place. It's a speedy reality. When you come and say things on here, the same effects it has in reality is the same effects. People get hurt. And people will want to hurt you. The problem is they can't catch you right away. And you look past that. Except you're going to plan for living a ball. You understand? Except you plan for living a ball. Be careful what you say and what you do. September the 1st. September the 1st. How much of a reality is social media? September the 1st. Stabrook News has a readership of 5,000 a day. Maybe 7,000 on Sundays. Kaicho News has a readership about 6,000 to 7,000. They've been on the decline for the last couple of years as they become more and more exposed. Maybe 8,000 on Sundays. Readership. This is paper's reality. People read it. The funny thing with papers, people don't share it. After reading it, you got to wipe your ass with it. For those of you who are still using Kaichor and Stabrook. Where did you get the information of the government's good works? Where did you get the information that caused 16 or something thousand people to vote for Mohammed? Where did you get the information that caused you not to vote for the PNC? Where did you get the information to overwhelmingly vote for the PPP? You participated in taking information from the internet, then went out and took a marking device, mark an X in a box based on information you received, 90% of you received from the internet. Social media and reality are one and the same. Don't separate it. You see, if you separate it, you will not understand the pre-existing consequences of your action. You fail to realize there are consequences to your actions no matter where you are. Once you're on the face of this earth, there are consequences to your actions. You can't minus that. That is the problem with Guyanese. I'm sorry that I didn't educate you before. 400,000 people went to the polls on September the 1st. What drove them? Where did you get information about putting your X? What methodology did you use to find where was your voting station? A website. GCOM's website. Over the years, from 2020 to 2025, where did you get the information that caused you to make a decision to vote for overwhelmingly for the government? Where did you get that information? If this is what is played out, and you're making decisions in your life, why would you think social media is not the reality that you're in? What is advantageous about social media is that you're able to respond immediately, and the effects on you, you're able to control. If you're in front of somebody, you can't stop them from attacking you or cursing you or telling you. You can't, people don't block the ears. It's not a little cheering thing, it's like, me want here. But on social media, you could block people. But when you block them, remember, you didn't really get the message when they gonna tell you what they gonna do you and how they feel about you. Be mindful of what you do and how you do it. When I go to the police station, when I go to the court, there are people there. And a lot of them are there as a result of reality. Somebody genuinely shy shit over the fence. Like Rhonda Bob genuinely gets shit in an envelope. She touched the shit and smelled the shit. I don't know if she tastes the shit or what. But shit come by she in an envelope. It's a tangible, touchable, smellable thing. She came on social media and expressed that she gets some shit mailed to she. That's how all we know. Nonetheless, she has faced the reality. Is shit in the post. That is the reality. And there are no lines. Not because you smell the shit. You ain't actually touch and taste the shit. That she ain't get shit. And how you believe she gets shit in the mail? You think Rhonda Bob go around, Rhonda Bob got the office and do it? No. Something she did on the internet affected somebody negatively and they send the shit to she. So don't get confused with the lines that are blurred. Everywhere else in the world, and I'm going to tell you this, if you see people go out of the way for stay off the internet, be very mindful of those people when you're pulling them out. That's not the thing. And you know what that means? The same people in real life that is be quiet. And then there's triggers her when people attack them and do something and they go and do something crazy. They're the same people that can't take certain effects. That's why they ain't commenting, they ain't saying, like me, I burn for the internet. I is the internet and social media. I was born for this. I did any commenting thing. Yes, I talk about me balls. I want me balls get an award. Yes, I don't mean got to go there. I going with it because once people talk about it, yes, like I never come and dispute it. But we're there. Where do you go there? Why am I disputing it? I born for this. I grew up like this. The internet was created specifically for me. That is why you gotta be careful with people like this decrepit. This New York #1 scrapehead.
You see to our parliamentarian.
Come on and pulling people down. This is the dangers. Ask why she's hiding. Like me, I walk and do live and so come. Where you at? I walk in alone and I up on kicks. I'm looking for shit pop off. Why do you think? The problem with these people is that she is totally aware of what she always in the room there when she doing her life. Always in the room there. Come out, do a little thing, post pictures after she been a place. Yes, sir. She knows the reality. She's fully well aware of the consequences for the people she pulled on and stain. She got a lawsuit. She been on the internet and talked something about Balwan Singh Hospital and got a lawsuit last $35 million. I got a judgment come behind my back in reality that come from social media. Reality and social media is one and the same. Don't separate them. You don't get caught up. The last time she got live was with a big protest with a crowd of people. If she in a crowd, she ain't taking no chances. She don't announce when she there. I too just take security precautions. As I just like telling you, this thing's serious. She playing. You're living in a society where even the ignorant, the decrepits and degenerates, that is what is afforded to you by social media. A person with no background in nothing, never do nothing, never had a business, scamming their whole life, could come and talk to you and sound important, make themselves important. And people listen. Because you know why? You know why she would have a precedence on social media platform? Because it allows you to reach multiple people. People for different reasons are lonely, they're confused, mostly ignorant, would listen and believe. On social media, people are still racist, you know. Not because you put up a nice photo with a filter means you're not racist. Not because you put on nice clothes and position yourself for a photo don't mean you're dumb as fudge. People are still racist. People still gay. People still obese. People still perverted. Like everybody down here doing their thing. People don't pay attention to that. Everybody is on here doing their thing. Do you know? Now, women who participate in infidelities have found those relationships through social media platforms. Yeah. The man would chop up the woman the other day, took away, she was on a social media platform talking to another family member. The man would kill the woman in Barbies. Find out. Women ain't going no way by no nightclub, by dynasty. That's a long time thing. You drink a Guinea, meet a girl, and you buy a thing at the bar. That's a long time thing. It's the internet that happens now. You could lose your wife on the internet. When you see your wife there on the phone, your wife could give you blow and sitting next to you. This is the reality. It is not a reality. It's more, social media is more of a reality than reality. Your wife could there right there and message a man and give you blow, giving you blow, and you don't know, you're right there sitting. You help she hear ping on the phone. And she say, honey, bring the phone for me. And you hand she the phone and man say, yo, what time? 4 o'clock? Lashing time. You understand? You're a part of a threesome and you didn't even know. Because you give the phone. You give she the phone. For another man take she. It is that easy. Now she looking for a man. Normally, there's got to lash with the neighbor. Because the communication is over the fence. That's how the thing come up with people having, oh, my wife may hate the neighbor. It's a game they used to play and don't make the boy resemble. No. DNA don't work like that. The neighbor have to put the lolo on your wife, make the picnic look like he. It's Lola, our real Lola. You understand? Not a social media balanji. Not a real Lola shige. Right? Now, your wife could be planning for screw with the whole street and choosing. You understand? The balanji. This is the reality. And it's more of a reality. Life has become more of a reality on social media than the tangible, touchable world itself. Nobody doing the research and putting 2 and 2 together to figure out where we are and what's the cause for our problems. Your child could be molested. from social media. Most cases of kids abduction and thing now, long time is a man driving around a van, the ice cream van and peeping. No, it don't work, you know. Man, there you house while you child there in the room. Once they're unmonitored with a phone, somebody messaging them. That is more of a reality that you guys need to come to grip with than the reality that you know. What happens? You know what happens? And you know what's going to be the new fab on social media? When you have a phone that has a body thing in it, I think that should be enacted into law. That you have something that makes you feel pain and give you smell. You see, because we are such granular creatures, we're such simple creatures. I'm having this discussion with you because as much as most of you are on social media, you didn't know half of the things that I'm telling you today. It hasn't dawned upon people. It didn't dawn upon me that I have to educate people. Like when I done taka hey, I time on social media. I take a serious umbrage to what people say, and then I take my security. I got a massive security network in place to protect me based on what I say here. Most people say things and they don't realize, because people are not being forthcoming with them and say, this is wrong. People lose jobs to get a visa. People check in your Facebook. At the embassy, they check your Facebook. How have you come to grip with the fact that social media is more reality than reality that you know? There's serious consequences to things that happen on social media. The last elections, how you think the last elections was won? Where did you get your information from? The people who came from America to vote for the PPP or vote for whoever they come to Guyana to vote for had to come flying. Where did they get their information that impacted on them so much that they feel the need to fly from one continent to another to vote? Tell me, where do you think most depression? Why do you feel you are in a depressive state most of the times? When you wake up and hear the news, listen to like smelly smell. Why do you think someone like Lolita Calendar would be an attraction? What's the reason for these trends that is destroying the moral fabric of reality? What do you think is the reason for that? There are things we're looking past or we're not cognizant of. You have integrated it. Like when I left, I went to a few islands recently. Barbados included as one. How do you think I got there? A website. I bought tickets on a website for Inter-Caribbean. When I went to Inter-Caribbean, I walked into a plane from Chedijagan International Airport and it smelled like shit. It stank. A stinking plane into Caribbean. And I posted that on social media. There's a post about it. The world knew. Because I'm walking and I'm looking at the hostesses and I'm thinking, they're smelling this stinking plane, or they in this stinking plane so long that they realize it's stinking. Stinking. It smells like shit. Filth. Sour. A plane. A plane is a small confined space. Smell like shit. I bought a ticket to go on that plane on a website. Then I posted about my experience on that plane on another social media website. And then I posted a few photos of my experience on a website. You can't separate social media from the realities of your life. And if you're not used wisely, like everything else in life, you could lose your life as a result of social media. That's a matter of fact. Don't separate it. It's not a safe, social media is not a safe space. It is made too much to seem like a safe space. There's difficulties in getting to people who are on social media because of the distance between us. But I can tell you, it's not like a safe space. Like all the influencers, if social media was a safe space, all them wanna go and quiet. Critics turn Leanne, finding fault in everything. This is not for Anisha. Since you didn't get the message, I think we should just block you. Yeah, you're one of the people we try to educate, but you didn't get the message. Right? You didn't get the message. Once you get the message, this is one of the things we do. That is one of the skills that social media afford you. But they mean they hate you in reality. They mean like the person get black there. A man calling me. Some Vickers I actually haven't put him back yesterday. He get black and he upset every day trying to get out of the program. He's affected. Alexander knows messaging me asking me. I said, where you gonna find your name? Where you gonna find your name from? Make a fake account and come out. Yes, sir. You gotta know your place. Not to say that he's not affected. Not to say he might be vexed with me. I make enemies by the minute. If Walter Rodney could have been murdered for what we did, Walter Rodney never attacked 1,000 people one time. He got kind of attacked a little bit people. The PNC felt he was so impacting. You think people watching at me and looking past, we've become a more civilized society. We're not so drastic. But America, what presents itself as the greatest democracy in the world? To the people who have been forged out of democracy and fairness and justice, one just kill another one. Charlie Kirk, brutally murdered for propagating truth. His truth, his beliefs. A serious Christian man. Shot and killed. Charlie Kirk became famous because of what he went to campuses and said and what was broadcasted out. That's the reality. And don't let it pass you by. So if you're out there and think the internet and reality is two different things, and you become, there are things you could, there's cybercrime laws. Don't separate it. Know that social media is a tool. And if it's not used wisely, like driving a big truck. If you start driving a big truck like a madman, then watching for people and things, you're gonna knock down people. People go upset with you. You're driving wild on the road. Other drivers gonna get mad with you. Social media doesn't change the reality of who you are and who I am. It changes our communication methods. It changes the time we take to communicate. First time I had to jump in the car and come by you farm. I pick up the phone, ring, ring, ring. Hey, how you do? Think put on your call the next one. Or first before you call the operator, and the operator put you through. Social media is blam. You turn on, I see you, you see me, just via the smell. But with social media, it gets even worse than reality. It doesn't get better. People assume it get better. Perverts operating faster. Rapists operating faster. You have everybody dark web. Hello, good morning.
Morning. This is Imran. This is website. Yeah?
Yeah.
Swan got the government provide a school bus up there, so into Swan, right? And they got a set of drink. People drinking and driving the bus without lights and everything. Sporting with the bus. And it's a provide for school trainers. So.
It marks school bus for that?
Yeah, for the ministry.
What part of sport with the bus?
Right in the village. In the village Swan.
I'll have the education minister look into it immediately.
Yeah, but and the person they think that some of them is not even licensed drivers or they drive on the road or so.
No, but who has the responsibility? What's the name of the person that has the responsibility for the school bus in Swan?
You really know. If you find out for them, then you know what's going on.
All right, I'll follow up with it.
All right, that's done.
So I'm telling you, this is the reality. We think the education minister could have been listening immediately. That's the only reality. Normally, he got come down from Swan. Call me. Then I call the educator. This happens in a lifetime. That's the only advantage. No, within an hour, the school bus driver in Swan could be fired. Like you understand? The difference, case in point. Within an hour or in half an hour, the school bus driver from Swan could be fired. If they check and see that they're drinking and people with unlicensed driving the bus and so on, the school bus driver, the internet makes, social media makes reality faster. Is that less of a reality? Normally a policeman take a bribe, you got go, no you could call me and I talk here now and thing, and by then they catch yourself, they're going to hold up the policeman and take the same 5,000 we collect from you. It just happens faster. You are more aware of what's going on in lifetime. So this assumption that social media takes you away from reality and is a safe place. No. It's actually a very unsafe place. I thought the need to educate you on this morning, because you got people going around, these degenerates. Like people come in when I talk and people say, oh God, the girl's sick. She dead in the hospital bed and you're still talking about she. Because I want to make sure she's a foregone conclusion. Because she's still there on social media, taunting and talking bullshit. The same thing that Kasha get in which she there. It's better I take some kicks for it at the same time and get some fun out. Why crying for she? Why crying for her? She's so proud. The girl is such a fudging degenerate. That thing, the man put cheap Mercedes in sports gear and like, yeah. And the degenerates that follow her, people post and say, oh, she on TMZ. Who wants to be on TMZ? Shut up. You want to be on TMZ with a top 10 song. And the top 10 list for a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. It's scrapeheadism to a whole different level. She posts up something with her page. Hello, good morning.
Morning, Critic. When you're talking about this matter, I want to bring you back to a couple of years ago.
Which banner?
This matter is Mohammed. Could it be this why they set you up in the red thread when they send an email? Could it be that he did thief your ruler and all that?
Nah. He didn't thief the ruler, but the red thread thing could have been him.
Yeah, like you explaining how devious is this matter. Like, all them things coming back to my mind, you know? Yeah.
Don't worry. Every day I got a day.
I know.
Yeah. Right? When you watch, like, you gotta read these people think that you know, she might jump down some stairs and like yo, just get better and is mentally, yes, and is your low mentality cause you to be where you are. You gotta stop and think. And it's social media cause you probably do so cut off right away. Come have the website. Don't worry. People think, hey girl, yeah, you're right. Karma. Buddy, I telling you. Me know when American karma will come. But it ain't coming. You see, poor people effectively use things to disillusion themselves. That one day things must get better. Don't worry, one day things must get better. Me mother got thank God for me. Because if you're waiting for karma for the people who hold she back in life and all them things, me and she would have done in the same boat. I would have done thing with a wheelchair they walking behind me. But I got part of them doing in 5th Street, Alberton. Same thing. He and Amel walking all, but he walking with his mother. Never bossy seal, yes, and still a virgin. Rendered, trained, mentally retarded. Perfectly numb. That's me. We grew up together. That was my friend. Not a retarded, but we were all, when we grew up together, all we the same thing, same children. And if you look at him now, who could pack up the lowly for 45 years? What if he ain't trained retarded? If he see a pancake now, he might get a heart attack and dead at this age. Train retard. This is the reality. I'm telling you, me and this kid was normal when we were young. Brought up in 2 different environments. Me would have been in the same environment. Because my mother had the same kind of mindset. Portuguese, your children and look after your thing, yes, and got me like a fudging kunu munu. I said this thing ain't making sense. Let me go there and see the world. Let me find my way. Because I always take things literal, by the way. That's one of the reasons for my success. When my mother said, God be sure with the way calculating, I used to look up like street and look down like street. I says, which way you coming from? You understand? I stand up on the head of like street and Regent Street and see people running and 1992. Everybody running, lady running with Fritz push head, running Brands right. Just next to RRT there, Brands right. Something like that. T4 all the problem thing and I watching the reality of the world. You understand? I mean, mother, don't worry. Things must get better. And I calculating is when. Don't worry, God will show you when I calculating is up like straight down like street to Lamaha or like 3rd Street. Like where? Yes, people don't know. All of these things are attributes to what hold you back. Enough of y'all need a reality check. And I can tell you, social media is a faster reality. Ask relationships. You see, people in Guyana, people don't do research. Look at infidelity. People calculate, oh God, the man screw she. That's the important thing. Lala in pata. That's the important thing. Once it gets in my head that somebody lashy pata, he start get mad. But nobody has gone and done the research to see. Accidents. The man knocked down the lady from Federal and killed she the little boy. You know what he doing? Reaching on for phone. Reaching down for his phone. Most bumper to bumper accidents in them traffic. You know how you just get a fender bender at the traffic light? And in a line of traffic where you can't drive, how you run into a man back? Distraction. People up on the phone. People can't wait for hear the comments. People can't wait for hear me. When I done say what I gotta say, you could feel how you gotta feel. Yes, and well, the world knows me. I ready and waiting. When I done say what I gotta say, you could feel how you gotta feel. People are having cases, bouts of depression, and they don't dare wrong people. How you get her? They're running through social media. I just disassociate myself on a website. The man show India, the Red Square in China, they're on fire. The Eiffel Tower, they're on fire. I can't believe this set of shit AI video image. I said, why do I want to look at these things? If something is gonna have a negative impact, I don't want to see. I'm going to France soon. I don't want to see the Eiffel Tower on fire. Even if it's a nice AI video. Why am I looking at that? Yes, I done got Trump blowing up drug dealers. I got enough fire for look a real thing in the South Caribbean Sea. Blow up a next set of them. I got that for look at. You guys wake up and be wise. And obviously I have to do more of these, educating you about the dangers of certain people. You imagine Sherwin Holder. You imagine you following Sherwin Holder on social media. A PNC member. Man went, you know black people ain't too much into swimming. You know that, right? Yeah, black people ain't too much into swimming. Well, man, them know for swimmers, but they ain't big swimmers. Certain things shipping is they ain't depot. And in your people circling the head. You know better? You know better? Yeah. In your people, you know, you've got two here circles. You've got one. So with two circles, and the panda say, "Bye, dad. Don't go wrong water." Yeah, don't go wrong water. So Indian people is circling the head, and black people in general don't fudge wrong water and swimming. You imagine Sherwin Holder, they're in a boat, they're in the creek. You follow he and vote for he. He was a part of a party. He resigned yesterday. Don't have confidence in his own party. Imagine you follow he. You understand what's going on? People follow 100-something thousand people follow Muhammad. Follow Muhammad because of what they perceive him to be on social media. What they perceive him to be. And because they know for read too well. OFAC, a next website, got Muhammad's sanction. Muhammad was able to come, use Lola Dal, Fatah, Dagi, Brian Max talking, because people watching, you got Porgy, Indian, Black, these people talking. And he was able to come use social media. Are you saying that this wasn't a great deception? What are you saying? He used social media and money to pull off a great deception. Have you ever seen a deception of this sort in reality? How different what Muhammad did, how different is what Muhammad did compared to the PNC rigging of elections in the past? You understand what I'm going on? PNC just get a karma. Muhammad come and rig the thing legitimately. PNC just face the karma. And if I know Muhammad, he'd wipe them out by 2030. Muhammad gonna haul them in. You see what Muhammad do with Anog? Wipe them out. They're now complaining, oh, we supposed to get 2 seats. That's why I told Mark DeFrance, he took Muhammad's money. Until today, the lawsuit's still loading. Mark DeFrance took Muhammad's money. He can't dispute that. Let's go to court. You'll have to produce the agreement that you made with the Mohammeds, and then you'll have to say why you didn't get no seats. Who would join? Why political parties would unite? To get what? To get Shaf? Is Mark DeFrance gay? Is he attracted to Muhammad? What Mark DeFrance go for? If Muhammad gets 16 seats, what Mark DeFrance go for? Loli? I thought he went for seats. Anog went for seats. We went for Loli. Is Mark DeFrance gay? These questions got to be asked. If you didn't go for seats, where you go for? Loli? No. You're Kanma, you go for money. The people in the hospital work you gotta know. It's all about money. I think we've done an hour and a half of education. Have you guys came across this? This was I found this very interesting.
Curry need more color.
I laugh. Somebody did an animation here. Respect to the animator. I found this very, very interesting.
Curry need more color. Curry just get fucking color.
You can put artificial coloring inside.
No, but Curry don't do it color. Alex,
You got food coloring,
she
just
can't,
put the food
listen to
coloring.
me, she can't cook for shit fucking life. I don't know nobody's put food coloring in curry.
Well, doesn't she must mean color? Put food coloring. Brown.
Does your mother put food coloring in curry?
No, no,
What the fuck you talking about?
Because she said she
Who puts food coloring in curry?
I could probably try it if you want.
No, but listen to me. We deciphering something here for make fucking sense. Make it make sense to me. Where you come up with the idea that coloring is going curry?
Well, if I make curry and it's supposed to look brown,
My
put
brother,
coloring
the
inside.
base content, which is turmeric or curry powder for curry, if you ain't got enough green, you put more curry.
Well, you won't want coloring.
You don't put coloring in curry.
But she must use put.
No, but I'm asking you, see, and you gotta use your f***ing common sense.
Me ain't use common sense.
Listen to me.
Coloring.
Did you ever see a mother put coloring in curry?
Let's see if I recall seeing your mother cook in the first place.
Well, where did you get the notion from? Listen to me. When you doing things, partner here, sometimes we depend on joke and get fun. Me life is not joke and fun. I just pass and everything is joke and I take things seriously. Now I ask him, he said, you know why? I have never seen that. So it's like you come to fucking investigate a matter. And the man said, this man head get chopped off. And you say, man, it could have been done by a helicopter. Where the fucking helicopter there? You have experience, no? You can't apply things. You like use a fucking card.
I found that very interesting. one of the attributes of the internet. Somebody could have created that somewhere around the world, have it, share it with me, and we all saw it. Took something that I did and, you know, created something that they did and make it amazing and make it into a laugh. I want to thank you guys for this opportunity to be able to be here and try my utmost to educate you. I'm hoping to do more like this, but what I want to leave you with is the fact that there's no line, not even blurred lines between reality and social media. Be careful what you say, be careful what you do, if you want to be safe. Otherwise than that, you can say what you want and do what you want, but there are consequences to it. Keep it real all the time. Peace out.